full brake test. Here we go. Wow, those tires are screaming. I have a lot of thoughts after that brake test. Welcome back to another Kyle Connor YouTube channel video. Today we are talking about and driving on one of my favorite roads, the Kia K5 GT line all-wheel drive. I assume that's not the full GT. It's got a 1.6 liter turbo, 8-speed auto. Yeah, not sort of the top spec K5. Maybe it is. I don't know. GT line leads me to believe that there's one above. Maybe I should have researched. If you're looking for an informative car review, you're not going to find it here. This is my channel where I get to blabber about cars that I'm driving. However, if you're interested in informative car reviews, take a look at Out of Spec reviews. Out of Spec reviews is our sort of full car review channel. So let's start this thing up. How do I do that? Over here, start button, and it comes alive, and the electronic power steering is active. Let's put this on low with one fan. Kind of chilly up here, 58 degrees, but with the sun coming down up here at altitude, man, do you get sunburnt pretty easily. I have this beautiful glass roof with a shade that's closed. We can rotate this knob into smart, normal, sport. We're going to put it in sport mode because we're going to go up the hill and then down one of the good roads into drive, and all of the safety nannies off, of course. There we go, full off, just how I like it. So this has got some good UI. Really neat tech in this car. Take a look at Out of Spec reviews for that. This channel is really just about POV driving impressions. I don't know. It's my own channel. It doesn't have to be about anything. No one watches these videos. They're just for me to rant. So let's come to a stop here. Auto hold is off. We'll brake torque it and launch it. Building up boost. Go. Pretty slow launch, but it comes on boost around 3,000 RPM. This engine does not like to rev. If you've noticed, it upshifts around 5,500, and it sounds very agricultural. It's like it's not happy to be up there being driven hard, but it says GT line on the back, so we got to try that, right? So I guess we'll just keep it pinned all through here. Why not? So it's still floored. And I think we'll lift for this corner. Back to full power. Yeah, good chassis. Really nice chassis. Engine, not good. I mean, not bad, but it's the 1.6. I assume you can get a more powerful engine in this, because I've seen Kias with more powerful engines. We're still floored. This hill is tough. We're at very high altitude, and it has just been run up the hill for another video I shot, so it's kind of warm, although the temperature gauge shows it's in the cold. You can see it's just struggling to pull us up here, but that's okay. I actually think that this engine's more than adequate, and around town it sounds very diesel-y, actually. So, and I've mentioned this a couple times, it's a very agricultural sounding engine. So at low speed around here, like let's just say 2,000 RPM, I'm just gonna chug on it. Take a listen. Hear all those individual cylinders firing? Bum, 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 bum. It's really pleasing, actually. It kind of sounds like a diesel. Let's put this down into manual mode. So here we are in second gear. Steering is light and direct and has a great ratio. No feel, of course. What is that, an old Subaru wagon up there behind the, in front of the FJ? That FJ is modded tastefully, I'd say. So it's the right size of car. Oh, look at this fella. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Hazards to say thank you as always. And now we'll see if the FJ will pull over for us. It's got a TRD license plate frame, so the guy should be an enthusiast and kind of know what's up. Brake pedal feels nice on my initial use of it here. It feels nice bite, progressive, as well as a pretty firm pedal. I haven't stood on it yet, but that's a good sign at least. They are flat out in the FJ, I can tell you that. So he's ripping it. That's good. I guess he's going to see how hard we can drive. So let's not lose the FJ. Here he is going into a corner. A little bit too hot. Did you see that little corner? He kind of got scared halfway. Maybe this will be a viral video and we'll see a big FJ crash. Either way, we're not going to push him. Never push other road users. Don't tailgate. Nothing like that. Just keep a nice distance. As an enthusiast, you know, you can push people along without being rude. So this guy definitely, is moving in the FJ, pulling over for us. Thanks, dude. Appreciate that. Thank you. Hazards. As a thank you, he gave a nice wave back. Cool. So let's go for a cruise. We're not going to be shredding. This is a public road. We don't want to be, absolutely careening down it. But we do want to get a feeling for the car and how well it drives. And so far we've learned the engine is more of a utility device to get the car up to speed. It's not an emotional engine. It's not a sweet. It's not fruity. It's more or less just effective at moving the car. And it certainly is. Look at this torque here. That feels good. Does an early upshift. Yeah, it doesn't rev past 6, basically upshifted at 59. Although on the gauge cluster, wow, that guy is moving in that F250. In the gauge cluster, it shows red line at 6,500. That, I have not been able to get the car to get up there, nor have I been trying to rev the nuts off of it. So we're just, again, cruising on down. A little bit of engine compression through here. It seems to have quite a bit. You can see it's holding us on this steep downhill at 4,000 RPM. That's nice. I guess while we're getting to the straight sections, we'll put this back into drive. I have this neat little display of the all-wheel drive power output, and if you've noticed, it's very much a front-wheel drive bias system. Even in sport mode, it's front wheels, and then the rear wheels are there kind of just to help push you along. But I haven't noticed any feeling. It doesn't make that much power to where it feels like the rear axle is actually doing anything useful or noticeable. Great driver assistance here, so can't turn it on because my traction control is off, but really good adaptive cruise, great lane centering. You can actually put this on at any time. It won't do it again because traction control is off, but I love Kia Hyundai's driver assistance because you can run with active steering on and adaptive cruise control off. No other car lets you do something like that, and I think that's just one of the neatest features of really any automaker, because sometimes I like to just drive around town and I want the car there just assisting me always. Now, of course, it does have your lane departure beepers, so let me just brush this line here. Here it just beeps on every single time, so I turn that off when I'm cruising on a back road. Nice corners through here. Let's see how well she does. There's something flying around in the glove box that just moves every time we make a transition. Yeah, it's very front push heavy, so the rear's just along for the ride. You can tell that when you push this thing into a corner, no sense of rotation. The center point of rotation is like in the back seats, so the front tires are doing all the work, and the back's just along for the ride. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's safe. That's how most new sort of luxury, what is this? This isn't a luxury car. This is a mid-size sedan. That's a normal class of vehicle. That's how they're all kind of set up. Should we test the brakes out? So let's come down here and we'll do a full brake test. Here we go. Wow, those tires are screaming. I have a lot of thoughts after that brake test. First off, the ABS pulsation in the pedal pulsed faster than almost any ABS system I've ever felt. Normally you hear a da-da-da-da-da. This was like it's like machine gun fire, so that was interesting. Also, it felt very much like a little servo activation of ABS. It didn't feel like I was actually feeling what the ABS was doing. It was just telling me that the little electronic brake pedal is activating ABS. So at least I know what's going on. Secondly, the stopping performance was not very strong, and that's not due to the braking system. We were able to max that out, of course, no problem. That was all grip limitation. So that was tire slow, holding us back from a good stop. And so that was really interesting. Now, the grip level of this car is fine for what it is. You're not going to take it to a track day and have a ton of grip. The tires are fine. I haven't looked to see what they are, but it's the OE tire, of course. This is a media vehicle. It's 4,250 miles on it. Chassis, soft. See that rotation, or that sort of wobbling of the car? You can see it move and transition the weight around. That's fine. That's what you'd expect. The car is very comfortable. It doesn't beat you up. And the nice thing is, once you get it set into a corner, it's very progressive. It's sort of a set it and forget it into a corner. You don't have to make a lot of mid-corner adjustments. You just point the wheel where you want it to go, and it goes. I'd say it's calibrated really well. I think in general, actually, let's just downshift it a couple times here. In general, Kia does a really nice job of chassis control. I really have to commend them on how well they've designed their cars to drive. It's a great compromise between comfort. You can tell it's cost savings. It's not an air suspension setup with active dampers and active roll assist with hydraulic. It doesn't need to be. It's a different price point. This car is $31,000, which is a lot of car for the money. Now, I really wish that I could actually sit lower than where I am. That's my only complaint, really. aside from the engine not being that engaging, I've driven this engine in the Kia Sorento hybrid that I recently had on test. That had a 6-speed automatic transmission. This one has an 8-speed. I can't tell the difference. It doesn't really do a great job on the downshifts. Doesn't really rev match, not as snappy. It's sort of one of those, you just put it in drive and ride the torque curve. This engine makes a ton of torque down low, so that's where you're really going to get the benefit from this thing. But look, you get it into a corner, a little bit of understeer, and that's what you would expect. There's something that's really bugging me here, and I didn't notice it until this drive, but Timon, our videographer at Out of Spec, noticed it as soon as he got in the car, which is, you see this little lip? This is like a weird thing. I don't know why you would need a lip, but my knee keeps pumping into it, and hear that? It's like creaking. So every time I'm going around a corner, I just hear creak, 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 creak. I could sit farther back and have my legs more straight. That could work, but I kind of don't drive like that. So moving back up. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm nitpicking here. There's not much to complain about in this car. And same for most Hyundai Kia products. It's got great tech, great driver assistance. For the average person, this handles better than anything most people have ever owned. You can definitely take it up here and have some fun. And the shifter's the wrong way, though. That's annoying. So you have to push up to upshift and pull back to downshift. That's incorrect. That should be backwards. But heated steering wheel, wireless phone charger, doesn't charge my phone. So if you have the big iPhone, the Pro Max, that doesn't work because for whatever reason it doesn't meet up with the Qi location on my phone in its case. So that's whatever. Yeah, and like I said, good nav system. So I think as normal with these things, I've got all my thoughts out, said everything I need to say. I think styling is subjective, but overall I think this car looks good, although when I really start to focus on the little details, it kind of looks a little odd to me. I wish the trunk was a hatchback and not a traditional trunk. That would be way better. Is that like a Toyota Hilux that we just passed? I don't think that was a U.S. market Toyota. How about that? That was cool. Neat that there's a Hilux here. We don't get those in the U.S. We get Tacoma and Tundra, and no Hilux. So, turn QX56, turn the wheel, Big Bertha. Man, are they having a hard time keeping that thing in the lines. But good drive, real fun drive here. Enjoyable, eye-opening, but not like an enthusiast. It doesn't encourage me to drive quickly. I'm feeling just as comfortable driving like this as I was when we were ripping it. I feel no need to drive any faster. But good design, good materials. For the price point, can you beat it? I'm not quite sure you can. I think that's the benefit of Hyundai Kia right now in terms of content, in terms of driving dynamics. They just seem to be priced so well and have so much to offer and styling to boot. So where else is, what else are you going to be looking at? This is way nicer than like a Camry, if that's what you're comparing it to. Way better in almost every measurable category. And I would say the engine's not, doesn't sound great up top, but it sounds great here at 2,000 RPM. Makes kind of diesel-y agricultural noises, which I really enjoy. So, thanks for tuning in to another Kyle Connor YouTube channel video as I rant to you on my favorite roads about the cars I'm driving. It's not really ranting, it's just sharing my thoughts. Do not like ranting. So, yep, that's about it. See you on the next one. Bye-bye. Full throttle. On the brakes. Turn the wheel, Infinity!